breakdown. We are out of draft week and we are looking to the future. New roster built from the ground up of future prospects, all vying for the new titles here on this brand. And we're starting off with 6 epic bouts, including an epic main event between the 2 new champs in the women's division. So strap on in as we ride on through this epic show. It's time to get the show on the road as the party atmosphere fills the arena. Smoke cannons are ready. The party is here.
Is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, the team of Katana Chance and Caden Carter.
Caden Carter, Katana Chance kicking off tonight's episode of Breakdown in a tag team matchup. This highly energetic duo with a lot of agility, flexibility, and just all-round crazy maneuvers are here to show up and take on a difficult challenge in our tag opener. That challenge is in the form of a couple of colors. A bit of orange/yellow and a bit of green. The Metaphor.
And their opponents, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend Metaphor.
Throw up the M's and doing a bit of pretty deadly fingers. Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson coming out together for this one. They are going to be going up against a pretty game tag team. This is set to be, I would say, a very athletic opener. 2 powerhouses in Caden Carter and Lash Legend. And then you have the agility, the flexibility of Katana Chance and Jakara Jackson on display for this. Throw up the M's as you're ready for this opening bout. Setting up for a pretty explosive opener, as I've mentioned already. But as we get underway, it's going to be Lash and Katana starting off for their respective teams. And Katana out immediately with that roundhouse. As we get underway here inside the breakdown arena, expect the action to be thick, fast, and explosive as Katana sends Lash into the corner. Tag, and in comes Caden. Springboard drop kick into a flatliner combination. Lash fights off Katana in the follow-up to that springboard maneuver, and this is honestly setting up to be a new look breakdown. Obviously, this is our first show with the newly drafted rosters. If you're unaware, the Metaphor were drafted to Breakdown. That was the entire unit brought over here. Thanks to, I believe, Noam Dar doing the work to get them here. But Jakara and Lash came alongside him to this brand, and you kind of feel that realistically they are a pretty solid unit. Now, as for Caden and Katana, they were just picked by the Breakdown team to have them on this brand, and it brings a lot of tag teams in the women's division to this brand. As a tag in, nice uppercut there from Lash. Jakara onto the shoulders of Lash. A lot of height for this maneuver as she drops the elbow. You think how tall Lash actually is. It is a lot higher than what the top turnbuckle amounts to. So That's really a pretty nice maneuver. I mean, even look at Katana in this position. Look how small she is. As Irish whip into the drop kicks. I didn't really think that Katana hit there. It was mostly Caden with the drop kick connecting onto Jakara Jackson. But here comes Katana. Gets caught trying to go for that spear. Nice maneuver there by Jakara to catch her. But this is sort of the moments of the matches, the feeling out process of tag team offense, where you see these tandem maneuvers. Nice shoulder block there. Katana back to her feet. Catching Lash off guard. Eat defeat comes through. But yeah, this is the feeling out moments where it's a wear it down the opponent sort of situation. And teams typically will bring it to their opponents for a respectively long amount of time and do these kind of tag team offensive maneuvers, keeping themselves fresh in the process. We tried to see one there by the metaphor, but could not connect. It's like an ocean, this sort of match. It's always flowing. The fast pace, the tides can crash at any moment. I guess I just used a metaphor there to describe this match, but hey ho. Let's be honest. Me not doing a metaphor in a match like this is just it would be lost. And I'm trying to remember the difference between a simile and a metaphor. And now I did obviously get a decent grade in English. I got a B in English language and literature. So just brush my shoulder there. Anywho, back into the action here. Katana and Caden in control. Honestly, I'm surprised they never got a tag name. But it's got to do with the party. That's an interesting springboard there. Over the top to the bottom rope to then land that drop kick and then go for a nice facebuster. This is that unique offense I was talking about with Katana Chance and Caden Carter. Always bringing a new field, a new fighting atmosphere. It's just a change of pace to what we've seen over the year so far, I guess you could say, from our breakdown and primetime rosters. Bringing in new talent like this to freshen up, always nice. Especially considering this is our 7th month of IPW. Don't get me wrong, we've obviously had a couple of break weeks here and there. But to be honest, where we are now, with how things have gone from where we started to where we are, so much has changed. And honestly, as I'm kind of reflecting here, tonight's show is going to be more about showcasing the rosters. If you're unaware, as Jakara, nice slap there, leaving a sting on the back of her hand with it as well. But as we continue to watch on, we'll see new things appear in IPW. As IPW management select the matches, they obviously want to give new shots, new chances to people. Obviously in the build-up to Summer Lovin', where it is obviously going to be champ versus champ for the singles belts. And that's both men's, both women's. So there's 4 matches in total going to just champion versus champion bouts. We then have our tag team championship between the Usos and Trick and Javon. And after that, it goes to the mixed tag matchup. We have 6 bouts already kind of locked in for Summer Lovin'. We're, week 2? 2 more weeks before the live event. And that's honestly this is the most stacked, like, match card we've had before the final week of run towards a pay-per-view. It's nuts, to be honest. It is absolutely nuts. And it does give us, obviously, that chance to see these more so just talent matchups, to see talent, to build up towards potential future challenges. Let's be honest. We've kind of mentioned it already, but there's no mixed, women's tag belt, as that's a beautiful flatliner there from Caden. Chikara's into the ring, breaks it up, though. But yeah, as I was saying, there's no women's tag belt, and to be honest, I could probably do a better job in booking matches for that belt compared to WWE. As Katana are up top, I think they're going for the keg stand. Katana balancing on the shoulders, up and down. You hear the crashing of that senton into the mat. That was so much of a crunch. Nice Hurricane Runner there from Katana. Yeah, it's like, I've been looking at the draft and how it's shaped up our rosters. The likes of Chance and Carter, Lash and Jakara, Fatal Influence, Bianca and Jade technically are a team. You've then got Raquel and Liv. Damage Control. There's so many units in the women's division. The Unholy Union as well, to name another, just while I'm on it. Piper and Chelsea. There's so many of these units that can compete together in IPW, but don't. Nice cutter there from Jakara. Busts open Katana. And she's looking to set up something else. Inverted Facebuster. Into the pin she goes. Caden's not coming in to break it up. It's a 2 count and the 3. The Metaphor victorious here in the opener. I have a feeling, though, getting back to the point, IPW might be thinking women's tag belts sooner rather than later. But as we watch this replay, you can see just domination really wasn't through either team, but this tag team tandem offense from the Metaphor just hit harder. It was more to the point, more prolific, as this hit, that backbreaker into a snap suplex, did the damage, and then you finish it up. Once again, another shoulder block. Finish that sequence up. This flatliner was great, but once Jakara re-entered the match, she ended the match about pretty quickly soon after. Lash soaked up the blows. And Jakara dished out the finish. This cutter certainly set up for the end. And that delivered that inverted facebuster win.
Here are your winners, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend Metaphor.
The little scheming fingers come out as a Metaphor pick up a victory here tonight. Let's move. Bout number 2. Well, from tag team to singles, the former television champion enters the arena. And the fires rise as he makes his presence known. No longer does he love you, Solo. It's all about the yes.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Samoan Werewolf,
It is the first time we're seeing Fatu in a while, let's be honest. During the showdown, he fell short pretty badly. Did not live up to the hype he built for himself beforehand. And he crumbled during that tournament. Now, after the showdown, he's looking to rebuild and reclaim the ground he lost when he reached that showdown. But to get that ground, he's got to build up a win streak. And the path ahead for the Samoan Werewolf is not an easy one. It is filled with difficult trials and tribulations, and a former world heavyweight champion with a whole lot of money is one of them. With a little skip.
From New York City, weighing in at 290 pounds, John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL.
As I keep always trying to speak when Mike Rome is, there's a little skip and a jive as the money flies from the roof of the arena. John Bradshaw Layfield set to compete, and this is looking to be a hard-hitting affair. Before the bell even rings, who will connect first with that big shot? The Impaler versus the Clothesline from Hell. Both men can land vicious offense. Both can absorb blows in an absolute brawl. It's going to come down to who cannot be knocked out first. I'm ready for an epic second bout of the evening. And if this is our second bout, it's already set to be an instant classic. Let's get going. Two stoic expressions on the faces of our combatants, and JBL is out first with a shoulder tackle. JBL, a Hall of Famer, former world champion as mentioned, because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays, as that famous line from Paul Heyman was delivered at ECW One Night Stand. But looking at how we're seeing the early goings, a nice trade of pins between the two men, and there's the big shots coming through. Super kick to shut down JBL. And Jacob Fatu off to the races. Fatu sending John Bradshaw Lakefield to the outside. Our referee getting in the way. But it doesn't really matter because a flying Uso or a flying Fatu hits JBL with that suicide dive. Nice headbutt there as the crowd already getting into this bout. Expect just some pure carnage. Now, if we look at just raw power in this match, you gotta put your favor onto JBL. Just power-wise, a lot more of it comes out from his offense. That super kick clocked the referee. A slow count there as well, purely because of it. She shouldn't have been stood there. There's another super kick. Fatu just keeps shooting his boot into the face of JBL. Catches him with that European uppercut. A pop-up Samoan drop. It's just fast, high-octane offense here from Fatu. It's Jacob. He's lined up his target, crawling into the corner. Charging. He baited me out there. Charging in and hits him with the hip attack. Finally does so. Another super kick. My man. JBL's jaw. It's going to be dislocated or just busted after this match. We said Fatu had a poor showing at the showdown, and he is stepping up here in the early goings of this one just to shut me the hell up. Pop up Samoan drop. Now granted, I commented that his showing in the showdown was poor. What I also need to mention is using the same moves over and over again is really not a good sign, as he just connected with the big spear. And now, never enter a strike war with JBL, as actually Fatu fights off JBL's advances. He can't, however, keep the pressure on as JBL runs her own nice drop kick there. Now Bradshaw in control. We haven't really seen too much out of JBL here in IPW. One or two matches here and there. But from my understanding, when he does compete, he brings out the best of people. Finally, he catches a super kick, realizing what was coming from Fatu. And he's going to just take him for a nice run. Running power slam there. Fatu quickly nips up, catching JBL off guard, sends him running through, connects with a hidden blade-esque maneuver. Bear in mind, JBL, he has that potent power bomb as well, but this is important. Impaler DDT, connecting from Fatu. That's even more important than that power bomb right now. Earns Fatu a 2 count. And you kind of look at just how Fatu's in control right now. He is basically had momentum throughout this entire match. JBL hasn't really had the opportunity to strike, to deliver power moves. Finally getting that chance here, maybe, as the nice knee lifts in the corner. JBL, oh, he's getting a bit dirty here. Removes the top turnbuckle through with the big running knee this time. A referee, I think, gone to check on the turnbuckle. Indeed she is, she's reapplying it. Miss Kim there, putting it on. JBL, pulling it off, shall we say, as he takes down Fatu. Jacob returns the favor, but JBL's going to come right back at you. Clothesline from hell. Just cutting Jacob's head off. Sends him barrel rolling through the sky. This is the thing about JBL. That kill shot, he doesn't need that much of a wind up to connect. He just needs to throw that arm out. And you are going for a ride. As he warms it up for a second time, the fist cocked. He's got him hooked up. Round the waist, up to the powerbomb. Bang! Down to the mat. We said he's got this maneuver in his arsenal. He connects. Jacob finds a way out of it, though. A massive 2 count, I guess you could say, for the Samoan Werewolf surviving it. But that's 2 massive maneuvers from JBL as he cocks it up again. Sends Jacob running. A drop down. A leapfrog. A back elbow missing. They really need to connect. But speaking of connecting, the clothesline from hell, decapitating Jacob, and a referee rubbing it in by just slapping the head, making that even more of a painful maneuver. Jacob pop-up Samoan drop. He's had enough. And can you blame him? He's been hit with 2 clotheslines from hell. Here's the BME. That looked pretty as hell. Connected. And pinning, not going to get the win. Jacob turning the tide here, maybe. He suffered some big shots here from JBL in the latter stages of this match. Calls him to his feet. Misses with whatever that was. It might have been a leaping shoulder block. Not really effective. JBL. A leapfrog. Power slam. Driving Fatu into the mat. Jacob hooks up JBL. Headbutts him. Samoan headbutt. One of the most deadly weapons in all of pro wrestling. It busts open Bradshaw. Bradshaw sent running. Pop up once again into that Samoan drop. Jacob's pumped up here. Yes, he might have been landing the same maneuver over and over and over again. But it is effective. It has shut down what JBL has wanted. And JBL is currently in the landing zone for an Uso splash. Fatu connect, and I think he might be going up once more. Another splash, this time from a slingshot. Now Jacob hooks up JBL. The final cutting of this match. The final call, last call, whatever you want to call it. It's an impaler, and it's not. Done it. Never mind. The final cut's not finished. It's time for the Zack Snyder cut, I guess. JBL surviving. Super kick, though. The skull, that jaw, in pieces, shattered by Jacob's boot. The soul leaving an imprint on the side of his chin. That somehow connected. Speaking of connecting, gut wrench powerbomb from a deadlift position. JBL up to his feet though. Not gonna connect whatever he was looking for. Instead, a headbutt drops him. Jacob might be looking to put him away. Sends JBL running pop-up once again. I need to preface this, people. I am not playing as Jacob. I am not button mashing the same maneuver over and over and over again. This is actually him. Speaking of him, he's got JBL hooked up. Impaler. JBL tried to remove that top turnbuckle to set up for something dirty, but it's not going to work out for him as he's caught and losing to the Samoan Werewolf. Fatu was very much button mashing this entire match. The super kick, the Samoan drop. He was basically using his two big maneuvers as spammy sort of finishers. JBL could not counter it. He got a hold of Jacob out of one super kick. And that did lead to a bit more offense out from JBL. But again, that's all it was. Minor inconvenience to Jacob. He took two hellacious clotheslines from hell and this powerbomb. But it's a Samoan that can just take damage and not feel any of it. A good win here for Jacob after that pretty demeaning road to the showdown. Finally back on winning ways. And this, yeah, you kind of have to say JBL messed up. Distracted by a turnbuckle. Caught with an impaler. And the quick three came following.
Here is your winner, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Good victory here for Jacob. let's move into bout number 3 for tonight. I hate you so much. From power to phenomenal. Singles action still coming on tap for you. As AJ Styles, P1, is here to compete.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Another man who fell short in the road to the showdown by only a small margin, though. That fatal triple threat match in the Green League qualified Seth Rollins over AJ and Samoa Joe. But now AJ looking to kind of use the momentum he did build up from them 3 wins he got in the showdown and try and turn them into potential challenges for the titles here in
from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 214 pounds, All Ego, Ethan Page.
As we're saying before we were rudely interrupted, AJ trying to turn that into momentum here towards a championship on the Breakdown brand. But he has to go through tonight a man that's all ego. Ethan Page. Both of these men kind of made their name in TNA before joining the Fed. Page, here to kill you with a smile, I guess. Even though he was very much not smiling all the way to the ring. As we're ready. Phenomenal one. All ego. Square up. And get us underway. Strikes coming through in the early goings as the collar and elbow tie-up follows. Page into the side headlock. Here, taking control of the position, wrenching on that head, trying to squeeze AJ's brain out the top, as you do from this sort of position. Transitions into a arm lock here towards the elbow, applying pressure. Just trying to pop a lot of joints out here is All Ego. Dislocate the arm. Nice STO. Follow up on that trade and goes for the pin. Gets a 2 count. AJ's all he's really taken in this match so far is a arm lock and a headlock, and that gets a 2 count. That's not a good start for the phenomenal one. Potentially look to bounce back as the 2 sweets come up. They tie up again here. All Ego, the larger of the 2. A lot more power, pushes AJ into the ropes. Clean break as they tie up once again. AJ finally in control, takes the side headlock. Maybe looking to get a bit of revenge here. Ego, Ethan Page reverses it, takes the waist control from behind. AJ out, takes the back. He also now has a waist lock applied. Ego takes down AJ into side control. The headlock applied once again. Wrenching pretty deep on it as well. AJ feeling the pressure. As Ethan back to a vertical base. Keeps the hold locked in tight. AJ really needs to push him off. Indeed, he manages to do so. Nice drop kick there from the Phenomenal One. Follows up perfectly. A nip up here, and he's gonna catch Ethan off guard. He's looking towards the crowd, distracted there a bit, all ego. And that gave AJ the opportunity to just kick him in the mush. Phenomenal One. Keeping it going. Springboard up and over. Arihara, whatever you call it. It's a DDT. Up and over and connecting that. Just, I guess you could call it vintage AJ. The phenomenal DDT. Pinfall attempt here. Only a 1. Honestly. Ethan took more damage there than what AJ did before his first 2 count. But, hey. C'est la vie. It is what it is. Laissez-faire, whatever it is. Yeehaw. I'm now just saying words to say words, but Ethan Page in control. Sends AJ into the referee. Nice suplex there. AJ taking damage, finally fights back. Pushes All Ego down to the mat. And the thing about AJ is, a former world champion, nice shining wizard there. AJ knows what he needs to do to kind of pick up the victory, but big boot from Ethan. Drops the Phenomenal One as he looks, a kick to the groin, and comes round. Connects with that cutter. And now, AJ going for a ride on the Ego's edge. Up and down and tossed into the turnbuckles. Crashing goes the spine of AJ. The Phenomenal One kicks out in time and mounting a comeback maybe. He needs to find something. Backbreaker into the flatliner combination. Drops All Ego. AJ, a solid technical wrestler. We saw him during the tournament utilizing specific maneuvers just to dissect an opponent. That calf killer came to great effect. But this, his most prolific weapon, the Styles Clash, connects into the pin. He goes 1, 2. No. Barely a kick out there from All Ego. It looked close. That lethal combination from AJ though. Follow up. Tries to go for the roundhouse. Misses. Page sends AJ running. Lines him up. Can't connect. Instead of DDT from AJ. Drops him. Styles. In control. Up and over. It has been really good showing here from the Phenomenal One. Nice German into the bridge, into the pin. He goes 1, 2. No. Page kicks out. AJ watching on. Nice. Suckering in there by Page as he hooks up AJ. AJ out the back. Drops him with the inverted DDT. And now, Page in a whole world of trouble, but he's near the ropes. That's the issue with that maneuver from AJ. He gets way too close to the ropes. However, this maneuver, this is just fine. Styles Clash connects into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Page did not want any here tonight. Because the Phenomenal One, he took his lashes in the early goings of this match. but he licked his wounds and came back swinging. Landed all the great hits that he is known for. Minus the Ushkarush. Whatever it's called, the Ushigurushi, I believe it's actually named. But AJ fired off some massive shots. So did Paige. This vicious, just the head clattering off that top turnbuckle. But it wasn't enough to, in the end of the day, to put away the Phenomenal One. A lot more's needed than what was shown here by All Ego. Styles. This was the beginning of the end, the first Styles clash. This looked very much like it was it. Paige barely kicked out. AJ just kept the pressure on. And at the end of the day, he just walks out with his music playing. And he's heading straight to the pay window. Very much like a Michelle McCool thing, that Styles Clash can come out pretty much anywhere. It's like the Faith Breaker.
Here is your winner, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
It's almost like they are the exact same move, but regardless of that, AJ Styles victorious here as we move to the next bout this evening. Drafted on Underground to break down the losers of the best of 5 series to the #1 contenders are here to come back on a conquest towards the gold. They aren't coming alone as Paul Ellering joins them. It's Akam, Razor, the authors of Pain.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, accompanied by Paul Ellering at a combined weight of 620 pounds. Akam and Razor, authors of Pain.
I'm gonna be honest to you. This matchup is heavily one-sided. AOP firm favorites to destroy their opponents here tonight, but to be able to do that, you at home need to know who the opponents are. But that will come in time as, let's just talk, AOP. They're a unit that destroyed during that best of 5 series. While they didn't win inevitably, they showcased so much destruction in the matches that just caused pain. But here we see it. Their opponents. First up, Sora Mensa. Some may say this is a weirdly put together team. He's been joined by...
And their opponents, first, representing Metaphor from Ghana, West Africa, weighing in at 198 pounds, Oro Mensa.
He's being backed up here by Ren Sinclair. Which is a weird one, to say the least. Why is she out here with a Metaphor man? Perhaps ulterior motives? Who knows? Yes, or Mensa. Here on Breakdown, as we mentioned earlier, Jakara and Lash on this brand picked up a win earlier to start the show. Can Oro keep the Metaphor's winning ways? Paired alongside this man,
from Blackpool, England, weighing in at 200 pounds, Charlie Dempsey!
It's Charlie Dempsey! The No Quarter Catch crew in town. This is why Ren's out here. And it's almost like you can't assign a manager to the second person on a team. Ain't that a coinky dink? But yes, Charlie Dempsey coming out here for this match. And last time we saw him, it was a bit woeful in the matchup that he was in. A losing effort, to say the least, but now he's got a chance to bounce back. Come swinging alongside Oro Mensah, two NXT upstarts coming into this one. Dempsey, obviously a Heritage Cup winner. Held that for a while until he lost it to Lexis King, a man that had his own dad. William Regal backing up his opponent, basically. Just a weird booking decision there, but anywho. Focus back in on this match. Rezar starting it off for the AOP against Oro Mensah. And I'm going to be honest, apart from knowing he's from Ghana, I really don't know much about career accolades here for Mensah. It's not really much going for him, I guess you could say, but this is why I kind of came into this match saying this should be a pretty easy win for the AOP, as Paul Ellering already getting involved. There goes the top turnbuckle. He's channeling his inner JBL, it seems. So he's already getting involved by removing it. But yeah, as we focus in on the action, Oro sent into that turnbuckle. Yikes. Anyway, pinfall attempt here. 1, 2. Kick out here by Mensah. Dempsey didn't even try to break it up. Realizing his partner still can stay in it. Nice attempt at a discus forearm. Can't connect. Instead, it is Akam dropping him. Akam's just pummeling. This is just a mugging that we are seeing. And this is a regularly scheduled match. This is just destruction. I love it. Mensah trying to crawl to his corner. Can't make it. As Akam now clubbing blow to the skull, the temple, the target. And it's 2 shots to the cranium. Tag, and here comes Rezar. Sends Oro into Akam. Big boot spinning sidewalk slam. AOP, a monstrous team. Here's the next question. Will we see Charlie Dempsey in the ring? For AOP win this match. A nip up there by Mensah as a baseball bat from Paul Ellering comes sliding in. Who gets almost hit with it. Akam now into the match again. Here for the AOP. Hooks up Mensah and just tosses him overhead. Mensah really has not been able to get anything going. I have a gut feeling the Meta 4 aren't picking up a second victory tonight, unfortunately for them. The AOP keeping the pressure going. That same big boot sidewalk slam combo come through, followed up with a leaping elbow drop. This is a mugging. Mensah gets the head scissor takedown. Finally, a moment to strike. Coming through with a combo. Does it again with that head scissor takedown, but Rezar's back to his feet, scudding Mensah off at the pass, not allowing him to get in Charlie Dempsey. Misses with the basement dropkick, and Rezar hooks him up Snake eyes in the corner. It's not the exposed corner, though. There's Akam now legal. Mensah springboards in. Not going to go for a springboard maneuver. As Akam hooks him up. Gets tossed to the outside. This is his chance. Mensah, you need to make a tag. But he's not going to do so. It's a costly mistake, maybe. But a flatliner comes through. Mensah striking. He's finding a chance to come into this match, but this is a pretty angry AOP. Finally, he makes a tag. In comes Charlie Dempsey. And Dempsey's flattened immediately. Mensah catches Akam in the corner, though, giving Dempsey a chance to get to his feet. Shots raining in. It's Akam now in trouble. Nice European uppercut from Dempsey. The man from Blackpool keeping the pressure on, using his catch style to basically destroy an opponent. This is pure British technical wrestling on display here. And this is what Dempsey's trying to teach Ren Sinclair. It's just this pure style. This technical grappling to a T. But to get that shown here in IPW is a different story. You've got to be able to win your matches to prove it's worth doing. But Dempsey hasn't had that opportunity to do so yet. He needs to, really, before anything gets going. He finally showcases some strength for this team. Mensah in now. Flatliners, Akam, and this is a good showing from these two. Mensah heads up top. Calling his target. Shot called. Drop kick hitting. Enter into the pin. It's a comeback potentially as Razor gets back to his feet. Akam gets up as well, I should say. Razor breaks the pin up. Power slam there. Into the pin he goes. Dempsey's in. Breaks it up. AOP in prime position to strike. As the tag comes through. Akam up and over to Razor. Assisted powerbomb. A neckbreaker combo. Pinfall here. And Mensah, I thought, was done for. Able to kick out in time. He is, however, in a world of hurt. Next, though, he got back to his feet. He's surviving. Showing good instinct here. Just that survival kind of mentality. There's tag team offense coming in from Dempsey and Mensah. Nice back elbow combo from both of them in stereo. Chop block connects by Dempsey. Catching Razor off guard, but Razor fights him off. Sends Dempsey into the corner. Now the AOP mugging begins. Dempsey yet to feel this sort of pressure in the match. He was in firm control through his moments of the match. Now Razor gets a few shots in. But Dempsey's back on the offense. Pinfall attempt here. Roll up. Going to be kicked out almost immediately by Dempsey. But I have a feeling Razor's got a few more moves in his arsenal hidden away. Military press slam. Dempsey gets back up, but he's immediately hooked up. Fall away. A world's strongest slam. Puts him back into the mat and big forearm smash there. Now, one of the topics I wanted to talk about is Paul Ellering gets involved. He's been involved for the majority of this match, distracting Charlie Dempsey, allowing that cheap shot to the back of the head. Here by Akam. AOP in control. Sends Dempsey up into the powerbomb. Two-man powerbomb just slamming Dempsey into the mat. And now, shots to the head. Razor's trying to get revenge for Dempsey busting open Akam. Dempsey fights off the attempts, takes the back of Razor. Arm trapped. It's the chicken wing locked in. Dempsey needs to fall back. Not going to be able to do so. Instead, it is Razor breaking out the hold. I have a feeling we might be seeing a bit more of Charlie Dempsey here in IPW, because he has put on a good gutsy performance here against the AOP. He's kind of been the strong part of this scene, but he's now a punching bag for the AOP. Neckbreaker powerbomb combination comes through. Into the pin goes Akam. Mensah breaks it up though. Wise to do so. Dempsey is starting to take a lot of damage. And he's going for another ride. Running power slam. They really want to bust him open. Big time shots connecting. I don't know why I'm laughing. This is just brutal. Dempsey, nice uppercut. You kind of feel Dempsey might want to go for some championships here in IPW. The Underground might be a new home for him though. I have a feeling IPW management might want to put him up against some Hall of Famer that realistically is undefeated in the Underground. You can guess who that is, because he also was in the showdown and really didn't perform well. But speaking of performing well, powerbomb position, Dempsey finding out of it. That finisher from Akam not going to come through. Instead, Dempsey sends him into the corner. Bit of tag team offense from the Meta Catch crew. It sounds like a weird mobile app. Anyway, speaking of weird offense, Mensah brings Akam into the ring. Not going to springboard it, and instead opts to just leap over the top, connect with this flatliner. It's an Oblivion-esque maneuver. Speaking of Oblivion, Liv going to be in a match later tonight against Nia Jax. There's a rematch from the showdown. And also the road to the showdown. You don't want to miss that. A lot of don't want to miss action here tonight, really. As a new era of breakdown begins. This tag team bout really stepping up into great action. Dempsey allows Razor to re-enter the match. As Akam rolls to the outside, staggering, stunned, realistically bruised by Dempsey. He's been vicious with the strikes, showing that. That's a rolling thunder. Big time kick to the skull, dropping Razor. That came from out of nowhere, and it's unexpected. I said weird offense from Aura Mensah. That's certainly some of it. Just unexpected shot coming through there. Now, Razor heads to this middle rope. He's coming down with a crash. Just crushing the ribcage of Mensah. AOP. Vicious. Turnabout is fair play. That's all I need to say. How to break the commentator. Razor. Sending Mentor into the ring post. He fires up, but is he going to call his shot? He's taunting in the face of his opponent, showing his big muscles, gets caught with a boot. Oro lines up, Razor sends him running. Up with a Superman forearm. A leaping forearm, I guess you could say. It wasn't a punch. It was the forearm that was connecting there. Sends Razor into his corner again, and tag team offense inbound. No quarter meta 4. Snap dragon suplex into the bridging pin here by Dempsey. As he lines up Razor. Razor tries to crawl away. Can't do so instead. Snapdragon again. Into the pin. Dempsey hooks him up with the bridge. It's not the victory I thought it was. It felt like it. Dempsey has Razor hooked up. Guillotine. He mounts him. It's in deep. He falls back. He's got Razor trapped. Center of the ring. Will he tap out? No. Dempsey does, however, let go of the hold. Showing that technical style. That submission wrestling on full display. Pinfall attempt here. Dempsey's foot is in the ropes. Makes the tag. Mensa now legal. He has a target in his sight. Can't connect instead. It is going to be Razor dropping Oro and now targeting Dempsey. Sends him into the corner. Discus forearm. JC Jane-esque from Oro Mensa as he calls his target to his feet. Shot called. Up and down Hurricane Rana. He looks fired up now. Razor's trying to crawl, can't do so. Instead, opts to roll to the outside. Right in front of Ren Sinclair. Not going to get involved. Wise to do so, because I think Razor would have just eaten her for dinner. Nice escape there by Mensa. Tries to come flying through, can't do so. Instead, hit with a spine buster. The count getting higher as Oro returned to the ring. Razor follows suit. Wise maneuver here by Razor to tag out. He's taken a lot of punishment, as has Akam, but Akam's had a lot more respite. Nice shot to the temple. But this is the Paul Ellering effect. He's caught Mensa off guard. Akam not going to be able to connect. Wise to the effort there is Mensa. Coming through with an European uppercut of his own. He's learning from Dempsey, it seems. Spouts delivering. More than I expected. There's the rolling thunder, that heel to the skull. Pinfall attempt. Razor's entering. Barely in time to break it up. Let's be honest. Early going to this match, it was a mugging. by the AOP. Mensa really was flattened. This team's just been compiled together for the sake of being fresh meat, let's be honest, for the AOP. But they have come swinging, and swinging pretty hard, has Mensa and Dempsey. They are well and truly a good unit. As Dempsey's just being beaten up here. He's not even a legal man. Akam, mate, you're in a bit of a weird situation as you've now been punished, sent into the apron, ring post here by Dempsey, and they're just beating him up. Shots called, the M's risen. Mensa sends Akam into the announce desk. And he does it again. Oh, big forearm cleave into that heel kick again. That was nutty. He really likes that maneuver. As he hooks up Akam, up and over with the destroyer. An 8 count. We're getting a count out victory. It's only fitting. Paul Ellering, you might be getting involved in distracting. Doesn't really matter. Mensa's winning. 2 victories tonight for the men of 4. That's actually nutty. But I do feel AOP going to be frustrated. They had it in the bag. But they could not close the deal. And the damage just flooded in. They lost this pretty epic tag team matchup. Perhaps we see some more things from this unit. It is unexpected, to say the least, that this worked out for them. You have to realize it is a count out. IPW don't really value count out victories. They're not worth it. You need to beat your opponent in the goddamn ring for it to be really anything important. But as we say, it is a good performance. So overall, both teams really threw everything at it. But as the metaphor music still plays for the second time tonight, that destroyer sealed the deal for this tag team match.
Here are your winners, the team of Oro Mensah and Charlie Dempsey.
Surprise tag team bout leads us nicely to a epic co-main event. Strap on in, because it's about to be explosive. Drafted on Underground, American Maids, Chad Gable. Here for the fight.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing American Made from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 202 pounds, Chad Gable.
Former Olympian. Ready to compete here tonight. And let's be honest, we just saw a technical / submission specialist pick up a victory in Charlie Dempsey. And yes, you have to say his name like that. Gable looking to be the second one in a string of matches to do that. But to get there, it's not going to be an easy task, let's be honest. We talk about aura. This man is oozing it.
And his opponent, from Lagos, Nigeria, weighing in at 273 pounds, Oba Femi.
The way he walks to the ring, the way his music fits him, the ruler looking to kind of rewrite his earlier matches in IPW. Unable to pick up victories realistically in all his outings here in IPW. He's got a little bit of an easier opponent. In Chad Gable. Crowd actually behind Chad here. It's surprising. As we get underway, our co-main event. It is Power versus Technical. And Power wins the technical tie-up every step of the way. Gable needs to outsmart him. Needs to find his opportunity to take a hold, but as it stands, Oba hooks in that headlock, and we talk about it squeezing the head and kind of trying to pop it. That was from Ethan Page. Oba Femi, a lot bigger, a lot more muscle compared to Page. Almost taken for a nice German suplex right there, though. Femi just is raw power. The ruler knows how to just simply crush. He flies from the top, misses with the double axe. Grabs hold of Gable. Gable fights out little rabbit punches there to the gut. As the count stopped. Restarted. Nice maneuver there by Gable to take the ankle out from underneath Femi. And this has to be Gable's plan. Weaken the legs, weaken the ankle. Allow for that ankle lock to be just potent. Nice knee there by Femi to break the hold. Count continues as again another kick to the leg there by Gable. Thank you. That was bad. Caught, rolled up. Not going to be a count though on him though. As it is the early going to this match. Gable not going to be punished, but this is punishing. Running power slam from Femi. Drops Gable and the ruler lining up his target. This is talking earlier about how Femi in his outings here in IPW have been losing affairs. Last time out, I believe he was mugged kind of more than anything by AOP. As Karrion Kross, he was fighting against, just kind of stopped him. Because that was in the best of 5 series. On an Underground episode. Where that happened. So obviously he felt some frustration there. Not had his chance to get back at Kross. Maybe that'll come. That's a nice lariat. We do know that the Final Testament as a unit are here on Breakdown as well. So there is that potential. Speaking of potential, Femi charging through. Massive uppercut onto Gable there. Gable fights out the grasp of the ruler. Can't connect though as Femi forces him away. Fireman's carry. Up. Military press. Revolved out of there. Gable into the pin. Looking for the win. Position reversed here by Femi. Gets a 2. Gable turns it back around. Femi does the same. Pin's broken up. But a pop-up just flapjacking Gable there, using his speed against him. As Ruler climbs to the second rope, connects with that shoulder block. It's Femi doing a very Gable-esque maneuver, weakening the legs of Chad here. He's up and down. Nice maneuver by Gable. But that's not nice for him. Femi, no, neither man connecting right now. The big shots aren't coming through as Gable fires up the 2K comeback inbound. Connects with that super kick. The straps come down with it. Femi punches though. Pushes Gable off. Takes him up to the powerbomb position. And just swirlies him. Not going to bring him down with that ruler bomb. Instead, just turning it into unpredictable offense. Gable really is going to feel the wrath of. Femi, pop-up, power bomb. There you have it, into the pin. Looking for that with no. Close. No cigars just yet for Femi. Needs a little more to put away Gable. That's a very long distance elbow. It connects though. This is the ruler's domain. His conquest so far in this match has been successful. Needs to keep the pressure up. Gable caught. I thought almost Gable came back into it. Hasn't though. It's Femi. He's caught Gable twice once he returned to his feet. Now the count begins. Femi not chasing. But this could be a mistake. Realizing Gable's getting time to recover. Knowing that he's done a lot of work here to Gable. He calls him back to his feet, and I think the ruler might be flying soon. This count continues. We're up to a 3. Gable returns to the ring. Up on the shoulders of the ruler, who hooks him up. Airplane spin. The whirly bird, if I've ever seen one, gets the win. The first time here in IPW, the ruler is victorious. This could be the beginning of his conquest in IPW. A similar path may be forming between him and the likes of Roman Reigns. We've talked for many a month how Roman is looking to reach that island of relevancy that he once had. But he's yet to get there, falling short at the last hurdle every single goddamn time. Maybe it could be the tribal chief versus the ruler sooner rather than later. Maybe that'll earn one of them a title shot. Who knows? Who cares? We're not there yet. What we are at, though, is our main event. The women's champs on the...
Here is your winner,
are on the prowl for momentum as a rematch from the showdown takes center stage in tonight's main event. It's Liv Morgan and Nia Jax rounding out the action. Well, here we go. The new champion here in IPW.
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from San Diego, California, the prestigious Pure Wrestling Champion, Nia Jax.
The Sapphire Champ on the way to the ring with the new belt around her shoulder. In its glory, it's such a beautiful belt. Held by an irresistible force. When we saw the Rumble, and you knew when she is in one of these matches, she is unstoppable. First and only Rumble winner in the women's division. Gets to go toe-to-toe with the Showdown winner.
And her opponent, representing the Judgment Day, from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, the prestigious World Champion, Liv Morgan.
Sapphire or Ruby. That is the name of the game for this match. Morgan wearing red to match her belt. Jax wearing sapphire, interestingly, to match hers. Ain't that a quinky dink? The champions are ready to go toe to toe. We are underway with our main event. A big one at that. If you're unaware, Tuesday night on primetime, it was the television champ versus the undisputed world heavyweight champion. The Demon versus Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. A match where the top champion came out victorious in Joe, and that was a massive victory for Joe in terms of reinvigorating himself after a pretty shoddy road to the Showdown. Now, obviously, there are no winners of the Showdown on primetime. They're all here on Breakdown. Oh, that's a nice kick there from Morgan. But that is the big difference between the brands. It is lineage and history in IPW versus the new era. That is what Breakdown is becoming. The new era of IPW. As Morgan, leader of the women's division here on this brand, currently controlling Nia Jax. And we talked about during these two women's matchup at the pay-per-view, Morgan toppled Jax. She wore her down and then took her out. He wore down Jax in a way that realistically a lot of women needed to really learn how to do, because it was very similar to what Alexa Bliss did to Nia in terms of wear her down. There's the code breaker from Liv, connecting into the pin. She goes. Gets a 2 count for the effort. But as we were saying, Morgan just knows how to strike. Speaking of striking, there's an Oblivion. Connecting. Wisely gonna drag Jax away from the ropes. Goes for the pin now. 1, 2. Jax out in the nick of time. But as we were saying, Liv learned, I think, from Alexa's matchup with Nia. She wore her down. She got Jax to the mat and then landed strikes to just punish her. This is just pure striking from Morgan in this matchup. The Sapphire champion has had zero chance to get a shot in. She's busted open now, as Morgan has been pummeling. This is the dominance you want from your world champion. The issue is right now a count out could be coming. Jax, no, Liv wisely rolling Jax into the ring. Good reversal there to keep or get control of the situation. Here by Morgan. Count broke and Morgan in control. Has Jax prone to the mat. Might be thinking top rope codebreaker. No, it's just a missile dropkick. Morgan using her speed. And now her prowess in the ring. The showcase she's given as another Oblivion connects. This is just pure domination from the Ruby champ. Jax has just been grounded. No opportunity to do anything. There's the second missile dropkick, not even giving Jax that reprieve. Jax used a lot of energy there to get back to her feet quite quickly. Morgan, I mean, that in itself, lifting Jax like that for the scoop slam. It really does tell you just what level our top champion's at. There's the code breaker from the middle rope. Pinfall attempt. And Morgan close to victory. I've got a feeling, though, Jax might be going night-night. Oblivion for the third time. Simple, but effective. Eight minutes total for this entire segment, according to my timer. And let's be honest, this was more of a squash match than a champion versus champion bout. So far, the pecking order really is the pecking order here in IPW. As Morgan just, again, easily defeated Nia. Jax, she has this tendency to not do well in in matchups like this.
Here is your winner, Liv Morgan.
But as we say, this is obviously a warm-up towards Summer Lovin'. A warm-up that was needed, clearly, for both these women. A tune-up for Liv. A wake-up call maybe for Jax, but with this match now in the books, so is tonight's action. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the new era of Breakdown. I will see you for Underground this Saturday. Peace out.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings.
Honestly, for the first time in forever, I'm having a coffee during a recording. and it is nursing me through this so much. To be fair, I also had a power nap, but it is what it is. Anyway, it's time to bring the fire.